You want to hear my number one piece of advice for entrepreneurs? Look, I've built multiple 7 and 8 figures. I've had exits. I've accomplished the thing that so many entrepreneurs want to do. And of all of this, I've learned a million things along the way, probably a million plus. But there's one thing that stands out as the overwhelming one lesson that I think you need to know above all else. And that's exactly what I'm going to decode right now in this training. So make sure you sit down, grab a pen, and let's talk about the one most important lesson that I've learned in building multiple 7 and 8 figure businesses that you could use to give you a huge advantage. Let's dive in. Let's talk about it right now. All right, so here's my number one piece of advice for you. No matter how great things are going for your business, no matter how high you are flying right now, you are going to see a low. It is inevitable. You are going to experience the ebbs and flows of business. And when you're up here, you oftentimes might not think about what's happening when you're down here, but when you do, and you know that it's coming, and you're properly expecting it, you can even double your business during a down or unpredictable time. Look, I know it. I lived it. That's exactly what we did during COVID. Our business doubled in size during COVID. How did we do that? Because we knew that we were going to see a down, and we did a lot of preparation knowing it was going to happen to be ready to seize that as an opportunity to achieve massive growth. So how do we do it? How can you do it? Let's talk about that right now. Let me give you an example of how the strategy works. When we produce a piece of content, like a video like this, we actually produce a second version that's meant for a down economy, for when there's a recession, for example. So what happens is when the economy shifts, everybody else is trying to produce new content talking about it, when we typically have a vault of hundreds of different videos and assets we immediately can release that are already talking about the economic climate changing. So what happens is the minute the economic climate changes, people start to get concerned, and all of a sudden we start pumping out massive amounts of content talking about that, while others are spinning their head trying to figure out how we're producing it so quickly. Here's the secret. We're not producing it quickly. We had a vault already made of it. That's one of a lot of different examples I can give you that are all based around the same theory. You're gonna have ebbs and flows, and even when you're on your high, you have to be thinking about and preparing and developing a strategy for the low. So how real is what I'm even telling you? Well, let's look at Meta. Facebook. I'll give you a perfect example. Pretty big company, right? Pretty successful. In 2021, they made $50 billion in profit. But guess what? The next year, they lost $10 billion. What? A $60 billion swing. They went from $50 billion in profit to $10 billion loss. How the heck do you do that? Here's what happened. One thing. Apple. Apple changed one button. And this one button had to do with privacy. It had to do with people wanted more security, and it had to do with the information they wanted other third parties like Meta or Facebook to actually have. One change from out of the blue, an outside company completely changed Facebook's model altogether. It made them go from making 50 billion to losing 10 billion. Look, that's the way business, even the most successful companies on this planet struggle with it the same as you and I do. So unpredictable things happen all the time. And what happens to determine your success or failure during those times is, are you prepared? If you're financially prepared, if you have credit lines and revolving credit and business credit and everything in a position where you're able to take advantage of those opportunities and seize the day, then you can thrive during those times. But if you're not prepared, if you're caught off guard, if you didn't have a contingency plan, if you don't have the money available, that is when you're just fighting for survival. So stop setting your business up where it may ever need to fight for survival. Instead, get ahead of it. Know that you're gonna have the ebbs and flows. Know that you're gonna see a down economy. Be prepared, be financially prepared. Have the revolving credit you're gonna need to navigate those times, and have a strategy, have a plan. Know it's gonna go down. Try to predict why the economy may shift and what's gonna cause that, what's going to happen with your consumers, and have a plan of action that you're ready to take advantage of and jump on when that actually does happen. So if you want to stock up on all the money you can get right now, then make sure you go to creditsuite.com/get funding or click the link in the description of this training. We can then qualify you quickly for all of the money you're able to get right now. Loans, credit lines, business credit cards. One link gets you access to all of it. And if you'd like to just talk more about the types of money you can get right now, make sure you check out the link to the description of this training, which is creditsuite.com/console. We will do a fundability assessment to talk about the likelihood of you getting money and what you need to do to increase the probability that you'll actually get the money you need. We'll give you tips and tactics to build your business credit. We'll even tell you all the funding you can get right now. Loans and credit lines are sitting there waiting. You don't even know about them. So let us tell you about all the money you're able to get right now. It all happens on that 100% free assessment at creditsuite.com/console. Did you get value from this training? If you did, make sure you like and subscribe and keep your eye out for our next training where we talk about more cool ways to get the money you need to start and grow your business.